You think you're gonna be morbid the older you get?
Yeah,
More
for
morbid?
Sure. For sure.
You're not gonna try to like, cause like
That's how I'm gonna cope with it. Like, I'm gonna die soon. So I have to talk about it more and make it normal. I'm gonna talk about it like it's a regular thing because it is, and I have to accept that.
I think me too.
My time is coming.
It's gonna be jokes. Like, I think y'all gotta be like.
I'm gonna start a podcast about death. Let's talk about this shit. Let's get into it. It's gonna be called Another Morbid Podcast.
Another morbid podcast.
Let's talk about this shit.
No, cause if I know I'm dying, I'm deteriorating. To me, it's like we're laughing about this.
That's part of it.
I'm not about to die sad because of this shit. I'm gonna try not to.
I wouldn't mind. It's sad. I'm dying, nigga.
I'm
a light and I'm fucking extinguishing, or I'm going on to the next phase, which is anything. I don't know, but no, that's sad, nigga. Y'all don't get to experience me no more. Mourn.
Yes, it's sad.
Mourn, bitch.
Mourn when I'm gone, not when I'm here. Let's like celebrate the fact that I'm still here now.
Well, pre-mourn. You know what I mean? Like pre-game. Prepare for that shit. Let's talk about it. How sad you about to be? What you gonna do when I'm gone? Talk to me about it. Let's help you cope a little bit.
Oh, Lord.
Don't drink every day. Smoke weed.
With no seats.
When it comes to love languages, it's not just like there's a love language for receiving and love language for giving. And so I think recognizing that it could be the same for her. It could be the way she's giving it is the way she would like it. But typically it's not the same.
I think I disagree, but I would like to hear more.
Because I guess for me, I guess I can really only speak for me. But I know that if we're like I talk about it all the time, but like if we're like the love language of touch is probably the one that I resonate with the most, I think, typically. And so if there's touch involved, I think, oh yeah, we're probably really cool. We're probably really close. But in terms of expressing love, quality time might be what I resonate with most.
As far as giving? Because you would say your receiving would be physical touch.
Yeah.
So giving would be quality time. Huh. I don't know if I've ever thought about mine being different, honestly. That's tough for me to think about. And speaking for my relationship, at least when I first met her, I always felt like the dope thing about us is that our love languages are very, very similar, if not the same. But I'm also now seeing the way we manifest them is different because we're both acts of service people. And I think the birthday for her is a big act of service that she would appreciate.
But for you, it's like some daily stuff.
That's not the act of service that I value most.
I love what he just said. Because in mine, she's more of the long-term thinking ahead, wanting to see the big picture. And I'm more of the everyday, you're going to need X, Y, and Z needs to be met. So how can we make these needs be met? And that'll eventually take care of the big picture in my eyes. All right? But that's the challenge that we have.
Yeah. And that sounds like it could be a good partnership, honestly. One person thinking about the day-to-day, another person thinking about the long-term, because both are important.
Mm-hmm.
But
you gotta make
the frustrations comes in when the short-term thinker is not thinking about the long-term. And the long-term thinker is not uh appreciative of the short term thinker. You know what I'm saying? What they bring to the table.
Life, man. Cause nothing really matters at all.
You guys haven't asked the cast?
All right, do we have an ask the gas?
Yes, we do.
You got one
Yeah.
from Zucker?
Nah, this was me.
We discussed this one in the group chat.
Do I try to go off by memory?
I remember it.
Are relationships easier or harder? No, wait. What was it? Is life easier or harder with relationships?
Yep.
T,
I thought that was a really good question.
drop this shit.
I thought about this a lot. And I think objectively, the question has to be harder. It has to be harder. Like, it is obviously harder, I would say. Because you have to consider, it's like levels and more things to consider now outside of just yourself. And you should know what you want and how you want situations to go better than anybody else. So have to considering others and things like that is, it just makes things a challenge. It's an added challenge. But I do think it could possibly be more rewarding. Like, I think about having a kid. That's the example or analogy I thought of in my head. Like, I don't think anybody would say having a kid makes your life easier. But a lot of people would say it makes your life better and more rewarding. And, like, it adds depth to it. And it's like, yeah, my life is harder, very, very much harder. But it actually is worth it. Like, and I really value my life more. And it gives me something to look forward to. And I feel like I have, like, a future to feel good about and things like that. And so that was my answer. Obviously harder, but with the right person, obviously, hopefully equally as rewarding or more.
So you don't think that, like, aside from the rewarding, you don't think that what someone else can bring to the table can potentially outweigh the difficulties and make it easier in general?
Yes. But I think the phrase relationships are hard is a phrase for a reason. Because every day, for years, you got to make it work. And I think as we've seen with friends, you fall out with friends all the time. It's people that come in and out of your life all the time. But if romantic relationships, marriages, and things like that, that you plan to be forever, you got to work through all that shit and stick together and build a life together in everything. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. And I think they should make life easier in certain ways, but no one is going to make life easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think a lot of people would be looking for that in relationships too. Life ain't easy, bruh. And it ain't never going to be easy. No person coming in your life is going to make it easy.
Right.
But they can compliment you, and things that you're not good at, they can help you in those areas.
Now, what if we change the dynamic of the question and not even think about romantic relationships? Obviously, I think it's still the same answer,
Yeah.
but to what degree?
I think it's a little bit more difficult with romantic relationships because you know, choosing to wake up and go to sleep to this person, you know, is they in a much more intimate and vulnerable space with you than what you would probably allow family. Like, it's things that my siblings would never know about me that my partner knows about me. You know what I'm saying? Or even any other relationship title within family relationships. We're not that intimate, you know? And when it comes to trying to build a life with somebody, I take that very serious. So you are my family now. Like, you are the cornerstone piece of my life. We are making these decisions together, you know?
Yeah.
So
I was thinking when it comes to relationships, there are romantic, platonic, and family. You could have a super super fire family. Like I think every family has its problems, but all problems ain't equal. That could make your life incredibly easy if you have like a solid family. They good financially and they good people, so like integrity and money.
Mm-hmm.
A kid in that family might have it made. You know what I'm saying? And their life is just genuinely and significantly, objectively easier. But I don't think a partner can come in and be like, every problem that you still have as a person, I can fix all that. You still got to do the work yourself. Or a friend even, like your BFF, they got to inspire you to be better. They got to teach you things, but they can't do anything for you. They can't live it for you.
Yeah.
I think I was gonna ask, like, what about bringing it back to the relationship phase or relationship part of the aspect of it. Like, what about the honeymoon phase of like even a bad relationship or one that's gonna turn out bad, but it's just like during the honeymoon phase, you kind of feel like a superhuman version of yourself wanting to do, I guess, the utmost to make everything work, you know?
I be wishing that that feeling was like a forever.
Yeah.
You know, because I do feel
But then
superhuman.
but then you would be with the first person that you end up with every time.
I mean, not so much be with that same person, but I feel like just the whole superhuman thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that could last, you know what I'm saying? Like of course you gonna have your days. Every day not gonna be good, and some days are gonna be harder than other ones. But I feel like if we connect on that level and we constantly pouring into each other, we can have that effect last much longer than the honeymoon phase. You know, I really do believe that love is empowering.
So does it end because one person stops or both people stop, or is it is it an eventuality?
I don't think it's an eventuality. I think that trust is broken, or you no longer feel like it's a safe space.
I really I agree that I don't think it's I agree that I think it's an eventuality, but I think it's more so like your perception of them was broken.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're no longer like, oh, they're not really this person, and then you realize, or they don't really expect this from me, so I don't have to keep this ruse up, or they realize the same thing.
Or like we was talking about, you feel something that you make a huge effort to do consistently is being taken for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because you too busy looking at the bigger picture that you're not seeing what I'm doing consistently, these little small efforts that I'm making every day to please you or to, you know, give to you, pour into you, uplift you, build you, empower you. That goes unappreciated because I'm missing this one little thing.
Yeah. I guess you could also take it to like the level of like, how serious are you going to take this relationship if in the beginning you guys are, you know, dating, but you're not really a serial dater. Like, even in a relationship, you can still date, you know? But if you're not the type to typically go on dates, then, but you wooed this person with dates, then you're setting yourself up for failure. But if you're really planning on being with this person long term, maybe instead of like going on a date, I don't know, take them to do your daily tasks one day. Take them going grocery shopping one day, and those will be the more serious days because they'll see like, okay, this is what I wooed them with, this is what they can expect from me for a bit, and then dates would be actually special instead of what's expected.
I wanted to say ain't nobody gonna fall in love for that shit, but maybe you'll really fall in love with a real person if you hang out with them on their errands. But don't nobody want to go with you to the post office.
Nobody. But that's the thing though. It's just like,
go to Walmart.
but those are the. I mean, me being a seriously single person for a long time, and it's just the myths I hear about good relationships. It's just like those are the ones that start off, I guess, a good friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, if you start off as dating, were you guys ever friends first?
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
But then it's just like, it's a fine line, because it's just like, if you guys are friends, then will you ever date?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of shit.
That's tough, but at the same time, I do like, come get me. Let's go run these errands together. Let me see you in your everyday environment, because I do
There's people that
believe
like that.
that it's important to see you in all seasons, all phases of your life. You know what I'm saying? Now, the problem comes in when I guess I'm overextending or trying to do so much for you just to make it so, just because like the little everyday shit don't matter essentially to you, like you want more memories or something like that, you know.
I feel like y'all both just disregarding the fact that a relationship is every day. And I think you had mentioned, why can't you just stay in that love type shit every day? It's because throughout the year, nigga, you got your ups and downs. You ain't at your best all the time. Sometimes you at your worst, and this person is right there with you, nigga. And you see them at their worst. And y'all might be at your worst at the same time. And like, or y'all might be up, and that, like, it's a long-term relationships is life. They become a part of life. And so even like how great it is, you become accustomed to it.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes life. And now you got to deal with the lulls of this new aspect of your life.
It's unrealistic to expect it to just be great all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
and I don't expect it to be great all the time. I expect that who I am today and who I am a year from now and who I am 5 years from now, those are going to be different people in some form of aspect. I expect you to be able to love me and like me through those phases. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do the same for you.
I think it's one thing to love a person in all their phases. I can't ask you to like me in all my phases.
I hear. That's what I hear.
I'll say this for me. And being in a relationship has shown me I'm an asshole days. You know what I'm saying? It's not like every once in a while. I can be inconsiderate and I can be self-involved and I don't be wanting to deal with other shit. That's my thing, but I think everybody has things, and it's like dealing with a person every day and their things and trying to blend your things. It comes with its challenges. It doesn't mean it isn't incredibly rewarding, but it's never going to be all peaches and roses.
You're never malicious with your self-involvement and like unawareness. Like it's more like it's literally you're just in your world.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you're really doing, like for those moments, and they just happen to inconvenience you, but maybe you'll forget how they also inconvenience them.
What do you mean? They also inconvenience them.
Whatever inconveniences you happens to also inconvenience them, but it's not inconveniencing you so much that you're realizing, oh, this is a problem. And I just think that you're that self-involved or into your own world that you don't notice it sometimes. You notice it eventually more, and you get to it. Like whatever problems you cause for yourself is what I'm talking about.
All of them.
Yeah. So it's like, so those kinds of issues is what I'm talking about when I'm saying it's just like they don't. You're so relaxed about so many things that it doesn't bother you. Your threshold for being bothered by it is much higher for others than others around you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
I
those
find
in a
that.
relationship. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I find that we tend to not like we walk a thin line between that self-involvement phase, self-caring phase, and being considerate. You know, nobody taught us the proper balance of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know that we need to have some form of self-care. So it's important for me to have these boundaries or, you know, these things. But when you in a relationship, you really do have to consider that other person. You have to consider their growing up and things like that.
Sorry, I'll keep looking at y'all.
Yeah. All right, now. But, yeah. Everybody out.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good, friend.
Oh man, this is funny. Oh man, drunk pod might be the best pod. I like the new level of potting.
You need another shot?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Oh, he gonna be looking like him?
Nah, I ain't that far gone.
These dogs be farting.
It's just life, man. I know I keep saying it, but just
I think that's been, you keep saying it because that's been the mantra you keep telling yourself to accept it.
because what else can you say?
Even if you don't want to accept it.
I have to choose to accept it. I have to choose this thing that I don't understand.
Or risk looking wild as shit because you don't accept it.
I could never live the way that I think that I'm supposed to live. I could never live that way.
How long do you think it would take for you to either die or be in jail because of the way you want to live?
One decision. Take ayahuasca.
Just one?
Take ayahuasca. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to see my true
I don't
self.
know, friend.
I'm not ready to see my true self and be that guy and be even enlightened to that guy. I'm not ready for that. It scares me even thinking about that. Because I always think once you say something, it can never be unsaid. Once I know something, I know it forever.
Yeah.
I know it forever. I can't know how I'm supposed to live and then not live it every day and feel good about myself.
Right. That is one downside. I think
I can't do that.
Feel with that shit too.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So, one decision to take ayahuasca prematurely before I'm ready.
What would make you ready?
I don't know. I'm not even close to that part of my journey yet. I might not take ayahuasca till I'm 60. 45 maybe. Hopefully at 45 I'll feel like I'm ready.
Yeah.
I would love to try practicing lucid dreaming, but weed already makes me forget dreaming. That's one. That's like, I love dreams in general.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ever had to complain about weed, it's just the fact that we forget our dreams a lot easier. But another thing is just like,
You think that's because of the lack of the REM cycle or something? Or why is it that dreams don't happen?
they still happen, it's just you forget them easier.
I learned that in school, in high school. Actually, you dream every time you go to sleep. You just don't always remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you literally have about a minute and a half to remember that dream right after you wake up. And if you are not thinking about it, even after 30 seconds, that dream is already different in your memory.
Mm.
What's wild, like, I love talking about this kind of topic about the brain, like when it comes to dreams and memories. Because even a memory is just a memory of a memory. Like, you're never actually thinking about the actual event. You're just thinking about your version of it. And then if you recollect it again at a later time, you're only recollecting the last time you thought of it.
Mm.
And it gets, like, cloudier and cloudier every time.
They say that about like eyewitness testimony as well, and just the general
How can you trust it?
mechanics of a memory. Life, man. Nothing is real, bro. Everything is
real.
fake. Even your memories. And they say those are the only things that last. Everything is fake, fam. That's why I'm telling you. Relationships are really the only things that matter. I hate that.
Do you want to change the mood a little bit? Only because, like,
I don't know.
I
I like it here, to be honest.
I had. Well, I mean, we might keep it here.
I like a little self-loathing.
We
That's
might,
my bag.
We might.
My
still
girl
keep
told
it
me
here,
that recently. Like, yo, you be in your self-loathing shit. And I'd be like,
depending on how these answers go. But if you can create something that doesn't exist, and I'll give you my example. What would you create? And mine was just like Control F, like, the find feature in a computer. We could just have like the find feature in life. It'd be perfect. It'd be great.
what's the question one more time? Something you could create something.
Create something that doesn't exist. So I guess the find feature exists, but not in actual life,
Dang, I hate to bite off Black Mirror, but I always thought that episode about the contact that recorded your life was the best shit
The person I asked was Charles, and that's literally what he said. He said the same exact.
That is a game changer.
I think that's so dangerous.
You don't even need memories at that point.
That's so dangerous.
I agree.
That's so dangerous. Because, like, at that point,
Anybody can hack your shit.
I mean,
Niggas can hack your eyesight
that.
and your memories.
I mean, there's that,
That's
but
crazy.
then, like,
Your memory bank.
I think people would end up being so toxic, like the wrong people with that kind of technology end up being so toxic. Others can be healthy. Because I think when it comes to, like, if we're going to keep a relationship talk, like, if you're having an issue with your partner, like, it really should be you and your partner versus the issue, not, you versus your partner. One way to tackle it really is just like, well,
I need to write that down.
I say that often.
Yeah, one way to tackle that like that point of view is really like, hey, going into this, I was thinking this, and I thought it would end up being this way. And you also gotta allow that same explanation for your partner. Like, have them explain what they thought was supposed to happen, what they're, like, basically you're both explaining your points of views for the same problem.
I also learned in this psychology class in college that when you're having those type of disagreements or discussions with your girl or partner, it's very good to also, before they respond, they have to first interpret what they heard from you. First they say what they heard, and then they respond to it. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And they said, like, that way nothing is lost in translation. And it's like, I get to say what I want, and then I get to hear what you heard. Like, what did you interpret that as? How did you take that? And then I get to hear your response.
We can't move forward unless, like, we're on the same page.
Yes, like, let's make sure we're here before because let's not go down a road and end up somewhere that we ain't mean to be. And it's like adding that one step. Tell me what you heard, and then respond to it. Game changer. And I could see how.
Yeah.
I could see how, because it really makes you have to stop. You have to really interpret them first before you respond. You can't just respond. Like, this is what I heard. And I'm like, no. So, we're not even there. Okay, oh. Now I have to respond to that. I don't know. I think that shit is cool. Some psychology.
If
shit.
they go by the communication rules, that be
gosh.
the issue. Like
You-
I
why
think in
wouldn't the person-
relationships, you supposed to be able to fight fair. You're not supposed to hit below the belt. But in this new era of toxicity out here, niggas just say whatever. Be reckless with their mouth.
Hit below the belt. I don't want to say you ever should, but when you need to be really, really honest, and I need to be more honest, and I need to be tiptoeing.
And you got them contacts. You got the proof. There ain't no tiptoeing no more.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I'm just saying.
Black Mirror contacts.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Like this is what it is for sure. Objectively, I don't know. I think that's difficult. I just think is you always have to be considerate. But sometimes I really just need to tell you. And it's not me hitting you below the belt, it's me giving you a hard truth or a brutal truth. You know what I mean? Something that I don't even want to tell you, but this is what it is.
At the same time, it's a way to tactfully do that. Like, don't talk to me like I'm the bitch you hate in the motherfucking gutter of the streets that you hate that you grew up on. You feel me? Like, no.
Heck
and the
yeah.
goal again is for us to attack the problem,
And not
not
each
the
other.
person.
That's deep.
True. I guess whenever I'm going into an argument, I'm hoping baseline you respect me enough for me not to even have to worry about that. Like, maybe you're not as tactful as you can be, but I hope that you're not trying to disrespect me.
Yeah.
And I just understand that not everyone can be tactful, but I understand when people are trying to be disrespectful.
Your shit is interesting, Ace. And it's like I want to respond, but I already know I'm responding in a very specific, personal kind of way.
Have at it, friend.
No, man. No. I'll just say I find it difficult to be tactful when I don't know how to say it respectfully. When it's something that I know you don't want to hear and it's something I really don't want to tell you, but tact, I feel like should go out the window at that point. But that's a very specific example. In most cases, if we have a disagreement, I have to be tactful in how I communicate my opposing view.
Also, if you're with the right person, I think you can also set the stage for, can we not be tactful? Like,
Yeah.
not with everyone, obviously, because some people can abuse that. Be like, yeah, sure, we could not be tactful. And then all of a sudden, they're just being disrespectful because they have the ability to, because that's the stage that we set.
I hear that.
But, yeah.
I hear that.
I don't think that that's going to work with everyone. But
Right.
there are people who it can work with.
I concur.
And also, like, they teach us about attachment styles, or people who have learned about them. They teach us about that for a reason. You know what I'm saying? That certain people with certain attachment styles are going to respond to things differently. Like, you can't, you can have twins, and one child can respond to positive reinforcement while the other one can respond better to tough love. That don't mean that neither one of them are invalid or have a worse way of responding to things. But you can't talk to the positive reinforcement child the same way that you talk to the tough love child. It's not going to motivate them to do the same thing. So you got to know your partner's motivation, and you got to be able to adjust. If you trying to get them to do anything, you know what I'm saying, you got to know their motivation and adjust to that. It can't just be about what it is that you want and how you want it. You know what I'm saying? How can you get it with knowing what you know about your partner. It's not to be manipulative or anything like that either. But if I know that you are a non-confrontational person, it's not gonna motivate you, me getting in your face, cussing, yelling, and everything like that. It's gonna say, you're gonna need more like, baby, this is triggering me. Can you handle this for me? Or, whatever like that. You're gonna need a more tender approach. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, I hear you. I would say every approach has to be tailor made to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
What if your partner has some deep-rooted problems with being able to present themselves how you want them to present?
Can you give me an example?
Like they want that. I don't
That
know.
old thing
Just
back?
using what Ace said. They want the sweet and tender talking, because getting all up in your face and confrontational doesn't work. But with all three or all of their last partners that they've ever had, the only thing that's ever worked is being confrontational. Because they tried.
And you're not with neither one of them three. You with a whole new person.
Mm-hmm.
Treat me the way that I've shown you that I needed to be treated.
Right, but I mean, I'm saying like at this point, like they've been, like they understand that that's what you need, but I'm saying like it's difficult.
It's a bad habit for them, or
Yeah,
it's hard to adapt for them.
maybe not even hard. It's just the fact that like they can adapt, but it's just they've been so deeply learned and this.
They got some deep rooted toxicity, is what it sounds like.
Yeah. Like I'm just saying, what if I'm like.
I think what if is it just would be difficult to be with that person.
Like
Doesn't
I think
mean
at that
it's
point,
impossible,
yeah,
but-
like you got to make a decision. Can you be with this person?
Yeah, it's just it's gonna be difficult, and they got to do certain things to make it work. They may be able to do it, they may not.
I agree, John. I like
Heck
what you
yeah.
bring to the pod.
Heck yeah. All right, so we got kind of far away, I think, from the Ask the Cast. But did you guys answer? I think I'm the only one that gave my answer, actually. Are relationships more difficult? Do they make life more difficult or easier? Yeah, I think I'm the only one.
I
that
think
answered
I
that.
agree with you on that. Your logic is just valid. It's definitely rewarding to be with somebody and have all of those positive, happy feelings and things like that. But it is just as much work that you wouldn't have to do if you was just out here worried about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just different aspects of life that become. I think a lot of different things become easier, but different things become difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like the things that are directly getting easier or everything. Yeah, like whatever's related to that is becoming difficult on the opposite end. It's really like that person really could just be shitty at one certain thing, and like they're making that part of your life more difficult, but you decide that the rest outweighs that and you're staying with them. Those things are probably making things better for you. You're probably missing that from your life. Probably unconsciously or consciously didn't know or did know that you needed whatever this person's bringing to the table. So I guess those parts of your life are getting easier. But the unexpected parts are getting more difficult. And I think when you guys are talking about trying to make it work, is those life unexpected seas that you're working through.
I was just thinking about that one article we talked about one time where they was talking about how a lot of men are going into hospice care alone and things like that, while women have built all these friendships, these relationships, tribes, and things of that nature.
You said hospice care?
Yeah. At the end of life, basically, a lot of them are more lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely think that, relationships are key in all types of relationships, but it definitely has a overwhelmingly positive effect, especially if it's a genuine, sincere, real, cherished, appreciated relationship. That it has so significant health benefits of love, and we see the opposite once love is lost. Like, it's couples who die days apart from each other just because their heart is broken so bad. They lost their person or something like that.
But I thought you were saying the difference between the men and women is the women were able to create loving relationships outside of romance when they went into hospice, as opposed to the men who were not.
Well, that's what the article was mentioning.
Okay.
But just in general, I think we should prize relationships a lot more because of that, because of those significant health benefits.
How likely is it that you think that you're gonna end up lonely
50-50.
in your old age?
Toss of a coin, dog.
Toss of a coin.
For real.
I think
What
you- I think-
better
I think-
percentage does anyone have?
I think you have a very strong effect on that result.
Yeah. She could die before me, though.
It doesn't have to be just her. I'm talking about like friends, family around you still. Do you have a family that still loves you?
You and everyone you know is one day going to die. You might be the last one.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
If that happened, ain't nobody coming with you, dog. Ain't nobody coming to see you in hospice. Your grandchildren out living their lives. They in college. They all spread across the country. Your brothers, your sisters for you, they the same age as you. They probably stuck in their city doing whatever. Not to get all morbid on this, but it's very easy to die alone.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
But it's also very easy to not. Like, in all those situations, you still have choices. You could still go to see your lonely ass sister in this other city.
Yeah, I hear you. I was thinking with the hospice, I wouldn't be able to, but
I'm saying, like,
you can live.
You're in a hospice because you're lonely. You're not in a hospice because you have friends and family that still love and want to take care of you.
I don't think that's true. I think hospice is just for people who's dying in general. Like, I'm old and shit is going bad for me. Anyways, none of that matters. You can have a life full of loving and fruitful, fulfilling relationships and still die alone, is my point.
Yeah.
You can have a lifelong partner, real good sibling relationships, familial relationships, homies that are like brothers and family.
That sounds like you died alone, not lonely, though.
Okay. I hear you.
Dropping cold hard facts.
I would like to argue, but I guess you're right.
Because it sounds like a fulfilled life. Like, you weren't alone the whole time. You were only alone at the end. And that, I mean, I guess that's the nature of my question, is like, how likely is it that you're going to be lonely at the end? So I can see how being alone at the end is lonely.
In that moment, at least.
So this a little bit off topic, but it's another Ask the Cats question. Am I the asshole type question?
Nice.
Speaking of hospice care or older people or whatever like that, there was this father who gained an inheritance from his parents.
Fucking man, give me one more.
And so
I like this pod.
With this inheritance, it's been part of the family's thing to just continue to add to it and pass it down. and he said that he already took care of uh like the schooling and things for his own children or whatever like that. So one day he was with his kids, and excuse me. One day he was with his kids and he jokingly asked them who he's gonna stay with at the end of his life, care or whatever like that, you know. And he would, and both nobody wanted to claim him or whatever. Now, granted, he not at the end of his life per se, and everything like that. So basically, long story short, he decided that he's gonna start spending the inheritance to start traveling the world and shit. You know what I'm saying? So he like, am I the asshole for this? Because y'all gonna be too busy with y'all own lives. Oh no, well actually, let me rewind a little bit. After they made this joke, he told them, what he say? What he say?
He wasn't an asshole in that old scenario.
Yeah, most people said that he wasn't the asshole, but
But he kind of was, actually. Now I think about it more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was the asshole because it was his inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
They didn't do shit to earn that. Besides,
They had stopped talking to him after he said something like he gonna wipe them out the inheritance or something like that.
mm.
So they took it literal, you know, and made the joke way more than it had to be.
You guys are right. I personally believe what can be more important to do with all this fucking money, which is meaningless, than to give it to your kids. But it's yours. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it. And if you want to spend it traveling the world, it's your right, nigga.
Not only that, I've already sacrificed and put y'all through school, did my due diligence as a parent, you know. Y'all are well off and eventually will be adding on to this inheritance to keep passing down or whatever like that. Am I wrong for, you know, fuck the tradition right now and enjoying life? Enjoying the life.
Great answer. Great answer. Because I was going to say, what are you going to do with it? Who cares about these things?
Yeah.
When you can make generations of your bloodline better. But again, it's your life. If you want to choose that to enrich your life however the fuck you see fit, whether that's traveling, you want to get a pet monkey, you want to get a trophy wife, you know what I'm saying? You want to just go to the theater and spend every day at Broadway. Who the fuck is to say you're wrong, bruv?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do whatever the fuck floats your boat. I would say, again, these kids, they yours, dog. Even if they fucked up, let them be fucked up with your money.
No, they could be fucked up without my money.
I hear you. I hear you. And ain't no wrong answer, but money is important, bro.
They could be fucked up with my money if they wasn't disrespecting me.
They disrespecting you because they don't want to take care of you when you old. Real question.
Not because they don't want, but they joking about it.
Yeah, they laughing about your death.
The fact that they stopped talking to him after he said, like, all right, y'all made this joke that y'all not gonna take care of me, so all right, I'm gonna write y'all out the inheritance, and then now y'all stop talking to me because y'all, you know.
Y'all heard me joke about that.
We had plans for this. Like, we had plans for our kids to send them to
So
college.
you waiting for me to fucking die?
We had plans for our kids to send them to college and different things that our life was going to be because of what you told us. And then you just pulled the rug from under us. It ain't just about the money. It's about your word. Plans were made. Family, we have families too, fam. Like,
I can't afford this to give you guys this inheritance anymore because you guys aren't taking care of me like I planned that I thought you guys were going to do. One of y'all was going to do this. But now I can't. Now I got to go somewhere and pay for that somewhere because y'all apparently can't or won't.
Right.
I might be on the side of yes. Because are you the asshole? No, because it's your money. But you didn't honor your commitment. with a big thing, a life-changing, life-altering thing for several people. For your kids, not even several people. Your kids. Maybe.
Yeah, they're my kids, but it's like not to say that I brought them into this world, but we here now, and we are developing a certain relationship with each other throughout your life. And if you're gonna sour it, that's on you. That's not on me. I know what I did for my life and what I would have done for your life and what I'm willing to do for your life if I die. But if that changes because of something that you did or said,
So be it.
that's, yeah.
Such is life. And y'all ain't wrong. I ain't gonna lie, the kids foul for not trying to take care of the nigga who can change your life. But, you know, I don't know what they got going on in their life.
Right.
Yeah, I think me and my siblings, my mom's asked us that question. We always just land on, I'm taking care of her. Because she's most like me and we'll probably, argue the least. We'll be okay living with each other.
I think about that with my mom as well. Like, if I had to take care of her in her old age.
Shout outs to you, mama. I love you.
I wouldn't mind it because, besides the money aspect, I'm sure that's expensive. But my mom was pretty chill, so I don't think she'll be a bad person to live with again.
Actually, one of my goals right now is to, somehow be able to afford a place without my mom having to pay rent. So if she needed to, she could just come live with me without worries.
Word.
Which I think I'm getting there. So
Fuck yeah, bro.
I'm gonna steal her soon.
I thought she was about to say steal her soul.
But I think that might have
Damn,
changed
nigga.
recently. She got married, so less to worry about there.
Damn.
Yeah, I definitely got voted as the caretaker of my mom. But
How do you feel though? You were voted.
I don't mind it, you know.
How you gonna ask her that? What you think she gonna say? I ain't want to do that shit. She get old, she gonna have to figure that shit out.
She might.
I think we all gonna play our roles. You know what I'm saying? Like, my brother definitely be taking care of the house for the most part, and I'll do the physical care for my mom. But you know, my sister probably go out here and hustle up some shit, make some money for real. So we all got ways that we would all chip in to take care of her.
I don't think I would. I wouldn't want to live with my family if I'm old, unless I could afford it and they didn't have to pay anything. And the only reason I would want to even live with them is so I can be around my grandkids for real. But other than that, nah, you can put me in hospice, fam. Put me in a good one that's gonna really make my shit comfortable. I don't like the idea of dying in front of my family. I understand you want to be around them and shit, but you are dying and deteriorating in front of your loved ones.
Yeah.
And maybe children who really don't fucking understand what's going on. So, visit me when y'all ready and when y'all can. I don't know. I have a thing about facing your mortality as well. So I'm if I have to face it, I don't want to force other people to have to face my mortality every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot to ask of people. And if I'm 80, God forbid, hopefully I'm old and they in their 40s or 50s,
You think you're gonna be morbid the
Shit.
older you get?
yeah,
More
for
morbid?
Sure. For sure.
You're not gonna try to cause
That's how I'm gonna cope with it. I'm gonna die soon, so I have to talk about it more and make it normal. I'm gonna talk about it like it's a regular thing because it is, and I have to accept that.
I think me too.
My
but
time is
me,
coming.
It's gonna be jokes. I think y'all gotta be
I'm gonna start a podcast about death. Let's talk about this shit. Let's get into it. It's gonna be called
shit.
Another Morbid Podcast.
Another morbid podcast.
Let's talk about this shit.
No,
nigga.
if I know I'm dying, I'm deteriorating. To me, it's like we laughing about this.
That's part of it.
I'm not about to die sad because of this shit. I'm gonna try not to.
I wouldn't mind. It's sad. I'm dying, nigga.
I
I'm
don't
light and I'm fucking extinguishing, or I'm going on to the next phase, which is anything. I don't know, but no, that's sad, nigga. Y'all don't get to experience me no more. Mourn.
Yes, it's sad.
Mourn, bitch.
Mourn when I'm gone, not when I'm here. Let's like celebrate the fact that I'm still here now.
Pre-mourn. You know what I mean? Like pre-game. Prepare for that shit. Let's talk about it. How sad you about to be? What you gonna do when I'm gone? Talk to me about it. Let's help you cope a little bit.
Oh, Lord.
Don't drink every day. Smoke weed.
With no seats.
All right, man.
We got one bar left.
What y'all learned today?
Man.
Like, John can't hold his liquor. I ain't never seen you act like this before. My gosh, I went to college with boy.
I learned that John would argue with somebody over something being in retrograde or not.
I learned that the problem is me. It's me. I'm the problem.
Well, the funny thing is, that's probably all of our lesson. The problem is always you, but the solution is always within you as well. All right, simmer down.
Say that word, Jit.
Yeah. Everything is fake.
Nothing is real. I love it. I love it. All right, man. Peace up, 8 down. Stay black, stay strong. The real respond. Loyalty before royalty. You know where you want to be. Oh, pimps up, hoes down. You know where you want to be. Deuces.
Can't bring you down unless they blow.
Fuck. They can't bring you down. Where are you supposed to say that at? Is that in the beginning? I feel like I skipped something in the beginning.